think the album was Welcome to the Real World. Broken Wings, Mr. Mister. The other song on that one is Kyrie Eleison, which I only found out recently is a religious remark. It's 7:20. Good morning, I'm Andy Crane. This is BBC Radio Manchester. We're going to talk about, not big Hollywood blockbusters, Salfordian small busters, in so much as a film that's been made on a really low budget, but is really rather good. You'll meet the director in a moment.
BBC Radio Manchester. Travel update.
Andy Crane.
BBC Radio Manchester.
Right, let's talk about filmmaking and sci-fi filmmaking. If you think of filmmaking, you generally think of, you have an image, don't you? First image is the clapperboard and lots of people hanging around and massive crews and huge cameras and cranes and all that kind of stuff. That's your big Hollywood blockbuster. That's your big budget stuff. But not all films operate in that world. You're about to meet a man who has set himself the challenge of making a big sci-fi film, but doing it with a tiny budget and a small studio space in Bolton. That chap is Lee Bolton from Salford, the writer and director of Charlie and Me. It's going to be shown at the 3 Minute Theatre in Manchester City Centre tonight. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Andy. How are you?
I'm all right, Tar. Is 3 Minute Theatre indicative of the length of the film?
No, it's not. It's 29 minutes long, so it's quite a long short in a way.
When you talk about, again, we're getting into technical stuff here, a short is a film of what sort of duration?
It's shorter than 40 minutes.
Right, so anything that's shorter than 40 minutes is what they call a short. So you are a long short at 29.
A long short, yeah.
And what's the story? Charlie and Me.
Okay, it's about a lady pilot who's lost in space. She's basically been drafted into the elite corps, and she's stuck in this box in space. She's got away from a battle, and you don't know what's happened before, but you just see this pod that's lost in space, and she's trying to get home to her son. Her son's at home waiting for her. So you've got this sort of relationship there that she needs to get home, and this longing to get home. And then suddenly on this pod, she thinks she's alone. She's in there for a few hours, and then suddenly this box starts talking to her, and it looks slightly like her son. It's got a little face on it. You see a face in it, and it bleeps away, and she calls it Charlie after her son, and who's basically waiting at home. You see, so it's that relationship and that longing to get home. But she's got someone to talk to now, and speak about all them feelings and just trying to get home and what she's going to do when she gets home. So it's quite a sweet film. It's science fiction, but it's not. It's more about a relationship, Andy. So yeah, it sounds
fascinating actually. So the set and is it presumably all takes place within the pod, so we're not talking about big sets and huge special effects or anything like that. You didn't need that.
No, not at all. The set we built, we built it in my studio in Bolton, which is a really small studio, but basically in the cellar. We built it out of skips, lights from pound shops, things like that. And visually, it looks fantastic on the film. I'm not being big-headed saying that, but it does look like a big budget film.
Have you shot it on film?
No, we shot it on digital cameras, everything within the budget. It was a low budget.
What is a low budget for a film?
I think we spent about $2,000 on total.
Good gracious, is that all?
That's all it was. That was all it was.
That really is a low budget, isn't it?
I know.
You decorate your bedroom for lower than that.
That's it. We had all my friends making the butties and things like that and stuff, but it was shot over a couple of days, and it is low budget, it is, but people that have seen the film don't think it is a low budget sort of film. It has some visual effects in there by our visual effects artist who's absolutely amazing, and it looks like a Hollywood blockbuster. Is that too bold? I don't know.
I haven't seen it. You can say that, Lee. I haven't seen it, so if you think it looks like a Hollywood blockbuster for $2,000, you're a brave man to say it on the radio, but what the heck. So is there just the one lass in it? I mean, is it a single performance by an individual?
No, the pilot is played by an actress called Lindsay Bennett. She's basically just talking to this box that's in the ship, but you've also got some local actors as well. They're all Northwest based, and we've got Christopher Faith who plays the dad at home who's with the son, speaking to him, and you see cutaways in the film of that, so you see that, and there's a really sweet bit in the film. I'm not giving too much away because everyone's going to see it tonight, but there's going to be a sweet bit in the film where they actually talk to one another, the child on Earth and the pilot lost in space, which is quite nice.
Did you write it?
Yes.
And how long has it been in the making? Because often we'll talk to people about projects and they started it 10 years ago. I've been writing this in my back room and trying to get $2,000 together doesn't sound terribly difficult. So has it been a speedy project?
No, I actually wrote it when I was 18. Actually,
oh, right.
I'm 44 now, Andy. So
you don't look it, mate.
Thank you. Cheers. On a Saturday morning as well. So yeah, I basically come up with the idea years and years ago. I've been filming for years and years. So we were going to shoot it when I was 18. There's going to be a comedy in a way about the spaceship, and it just looked ridiculous. Shot on 8mm film, but then I left it and put it in a drawer and forgot about it. And then the studio was set up and we were doing all these lovely stuff in Bolton and stuff. And then I thought, right, I want to make this film that was there. And I thought, this sweet film. And then my mum passed away a few years ago. So I put all that feelings and rewrote the script about my mum and put it back into this script and made it beefier and better. And there's a lot of emotion in there as well, obviously, when it's about your mum.
Obviously. So, if people want to see it, tonight, 3-Minute Theatre in central Manchester, which is where?
It's just inside Affleck's Palace. Right. You just walk in Affleck's Palace. It's this great little theatre, little fringe theatre. It's fantastic in there. They've been really supportive of us. So we want to show our big Hollywood, low-budget Salford. What did you call it before? You called it a Salford sort of.
Salford. Well, it's not a blockbuster, is it? A small buster. But
a small buster. I like it. Yeah.
I don't want to do it a disservice. It might be brilliant. I haven't a clue.
You should come and it's one of them. It's on from 7 o'clock tonight, and there's going to be other films on the night that are going to be shown as well from all local filmmakers. So it's basically just to promote what we're doing in the Northwest.
Terrific. And from here, what next? I mean, is this going to make any money?
It's actually bringing work in. It's funny because my studio does all different sorts of work for filming work, and people are seeing what we're doing in the visual effects side, and they're thinking, oh, I don't need to go to London, I can go to Bolton, which is a bit odd, but it's working. It's really working.
Well, continued success to you. I hope it's a great success. Thanks for your time this morning. Charlie and Me, 3-Minute Theatre tonight in central Manchester. Lee Bolton is the director, and he's made Hollywood blockbuster, or something he says that looks as good as a Hollywood blockbuster, for $2,000. So perhaps you could go along and be the judge of that. It's 7:30 on this Saturday the 9th. Let's get the headlines now. Here's